Dr. Elena Vasquez pressed her palm against the cold metal of the observation deck's viewport, watching the blue marble of Earth shrink behind them. 3 months had passed since the Prometheus had launched from Lunar Station, carrying humanity's most desperate gamble into the void between stars. Still thinking about home? Commander Chen's voice cut through her reverie. Elena turned, noting the concern etched in his weathered features. "Thinking about what we left behind," she replied, gesturing toward the datapad in her other hand. "The quantum resonance signatures are getting stronger. We're definitely on the right trajectory." The mission had begun 18 months earlier, when the Arecibo successor array detected something impossible, a structured signal from the Proxima Centauri system, buried in what appeared to be natural stellar radiation. But Dr. Marcus Webb's breakthrough in quantum linguistics had revealed the truth. It wasn't random noise. It was a distress call. The signal decoded into mathematical sequences that described a dying civilization. The Zephyrians, as the xenolinguistics team had dubbed them, were trapped on a planet whose magnetic field was collapsing. Solar radiation was sterilizing their world day by day. They had perhaps 5 Earth years before complete atmospheric loss. "Contact in 6 hours," reported Lieutenant Sarah Kim from the navigation console. Her fingers danced across holographic displays, fine-tuning their approach vector. Long-range sensors are picking up massive artificial structures in the Proxima b orbital zone. Elena felt her pulse quicken. After 4.5 years in transit, they were finally approaching their destination. The Prometheus had pushed the boundaries of human technology. Its experimental Alcubierre drive had compressed space-time around them, making the impossible journey possible. But even compressed space took time to traverse. "Dr. Vasquez," came Webb's voice over the intercom, "you need to see this." Elena made her way to the communications bay, where Webb hunched over banks of quantum processors. The pale xenolinguist looked like he hadn't slept in days, which was probably true. Mathematical symbols cascaded across multiple screens in patterns that hurt to look at directly. "They're not just sending distress signals anymore," Webb said, without looking up. "They're sending blueprints." Elena leaned closer, studying the alien mathematics. Blueprints for what? Atmospheric processors. Magnetic field generators. "Elena, they're giving us the plans to save their world." The implications hit her like a physical blow. But why? They don't even know if we received their original message, let alone whether we're coming. Webb finally turned to face her, his eyes bright with exhaustion and wonder. Because they have faith. Against all odds, they believe someone out there heard them and cared enough to respond. Commander Chen's voice crackled over the ship's communication system, all senior staff to the bridge. "We have visual contact." Elena and Webb rushed to the bridge, where the main view screen displayed something that defied easy comprehension. Proxima b hung before them, a rust-colored world wreathed in wisps of escaping atmosphere. But surrounding the planet was a delicate lattice of crystalline structures, space habitats, connected by gossamer threads that caught and reflected the red dwarf's light. "Population approximately 2 billion, reported Kim, scanning with every sensor array they had. "The habitats are beautiful, but failing. Look at these readings. Structural integrity is down to 40% across the network." Elena studied the data streams. The Zephyrians had built their orbital civilization as their planet died beneath them, but even this refuge was temporary. The habitats were designed for perhaps a century of use. They'd been occupied for nearly 3. Dr. Vasquez, Communications Officer Torres, called out, "We're receiving a new transmission." "It's different." The bridge speakers filled with sounds, unlike anything in human experience, musical tones that seemed to convey meaning beyond words. But the universal translator, loaded with Webb's quantum linguistic algorithms, gradually began parsing the alien communication. "Welcome, distant friends. We are Kethvara of the Dying Light. We did not know if our voice would reach across the void, but we sang nonetheless. This is Commander James Chen of the Earth vessel Prometheus. We received your distress call. We're here to help. The response came immediately, accompanied by what could only be described as harmonious weeping. Help? The concept seemed to require several attempts at translation. You traveled between the stars to help us? Elena stepped forward. Commander, request permission to address them directly. Chen nodded. Kethvara of the Dying Light, this is Dr. Elena Vasquez, Chief Xenobiologist. We've spent the journey studying your blueprints. We believe we can restore your planet's magnetic field and rebuild its atmosphere. But we'll need your guidance. What followed was the most extraordinary silence Elena had ever experienced, the pause of an entire civilization, trying to process the impossible. Finally, Kethvara's voice returned, carrying harmonics that the translator rendered as overwhelming gratitude mixed with disbelief. You would do this? For strangers? For aliens you have never seen? Elena looked around the bridge at her crewmates, humans, who had volunteered to spend nearly a decade of their lives traveling to help people they'd never met. Because someone heard you and cared, she replied. Because in a universe vast and dark, compassion is what makes us more than just matter and energy. Because your song reached across the void and touched our hearts. The response, when it came, would be remembered as the moment humanity truly joined the galactic community. Then let us sing together, distant friends. Let us sing of worlds reborn and civilizations saved. Let us sing the song that proves love transcends even the spaces between stars. As the Prometheus began its orbital insertion, Elena realized they hadn't just come to save the Zephyrians. They had come to save themselves, to prove that humanity's greatest strength lay not in their technology or weapons, but in their willingness to answer a cry for help from the darkness. The real journey was just beginning.